This is the Neighbors for Neighbors 2015 Spring Special. Join us now as we share with you stories of your neighbors in need and how they are being helped. Stories of struggle.
If you told me 5 years ago I was going to end up in a homeless shelter, I would have thought you were crazy.
And hope.
Actually walking there with pride.
Stories that show that helping feels good.
You know, the rule here is to leave the place in a better way than you found it.
Welcome to the Neighbors for Neighbors Spring Special. I'm Kristen Hewitt. 2015 is taking us on an enlightening journey. This January, we, along with our community partner Wells Fargo, we launched the Faces of Homelessness campaign. Our goal, to connect you, our neighbors, with the organizations already working to help the homeless in our community. And you responded. Thank you. But we've learned so much more about the work being done to rebuild lives. They have inspired us, and we hope they do the same for you. When Gary's wife died, he was left with 2 young children, a business in trouble, and debt from medical bills. He fell into depression and then into homelessness and eventually lost all of his possessions. That's where he found Chapman Partnership for the Homeless.
If you told me 5 years ago I was going to end up in a homeless shelter, I would have thought you were crazy. I worked the whole time I was here. You know, people don't expect that. You know, when you're homeless, that you're working, you know, that's the whole stigma about being homeless. People don't realize it could happen to anybody at any time.
Chapman and other shelters like them can't do what they do without the help of the community. George Villacampa, Wells Fargo area president, who also serves as an executive committee member of the Board of Trustees for Chapman Partnership, started as a volunteer and quickly learned how much of an impact one person can make.
So I've been involved with Chapman for probably the last 20 years since Chapman was founded. When you join an organization like this, because you see the homeless and you wonder why they are where they are. And when you work at Chapman, you really start understanding the stories and you start realizing that a lot of people were changed, their lives were changed for reasons beyond their control. And we're here to give them a hand and make sure they get back up on their feet.
Neighbors for Neighbors has a secret weapon in effort to end homelessness. Our very own vice president of our board of directors, Ron Book, is also the chairman for the Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust. His passion for his work can be felt throughout the community.
Homeless people are like every one of us in this community, and the fact of the matter is it's not about a handout, it's about a hand up. It's about demonstrating to the people that are out on the streets and that are living in cars, that are living in abandoned buildings, that it is a community that cares.
We were especially inspired by the amazing man who simply goes as Jay. His name may be a single letter, but his heart is enormous. His passion for volunteering is infectious.
Some of us think we have to give a check. I don't have what some of the people in Miami have. I don't have what Dwayne Wade has. I don't have the fame or the money, but I have as much heart. And all I bring them every single time is a little bit of my heart. So today I had a doctor here. I ask her for her help in her time. I have a school teacher here. He gives me his help in his time. I have a gymnastics instructor here. And I get everyone from my world and I go, we're gonna make a difference. I hug everybody here like we're all cousins. No one's left out, whether you're handicapped, you're black, you're white, you're Jewish, you're Christian. And for so many of us, it's something.
You can be like Jay, George, and Ron. Your time and treasures can turn into a new life for someone just like Gary, who needed to get back on his feet. Being homeless was simply a moment in time for him and his family. Go to helpingfeelsgood.org and register today. You'll find all kinds of projects and supply drives that you can be a part of or contribute to. There is something for everyone. When we return, we introduce you to some teens who have had more than their fair share of struggles, but whose hopeful attitudes will surprise and encourage you. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the Neighbors for Neighbors Spring Special. As we delve deeper into the faces of homelessness, we learn that young adults are the fastest growing population of homeless people in the United States. In fact, according to the U.S. Department of Education, there were nearly 1.3 million homeless children and teens enrolled in elementary, middle, and high school during the 2012-13 year. Staggering numbers for our youngest neighbors. For some teens, this is a struggle shared with the family due to lack of income and other resources. For others, however, this is a choice that was made for them. Some had to leave their homes for various reasons. Maybe there was a struggle with their parents that couldn't be resolved. Sometimes it's substance abuse or violence that forces a teen to see no way out but to leave their homes. Whatever the reason they became homeless, there is hope in our community, and you can help these vulnerable neighbors. Nael is a 20-year-old mom who became homeless when her roommate left without notice, sticking her with the past due rent and an unaffordable apartment. She ultimately ended up in shelter with her children, but is determined to find a better job and make a good life for her family. With the support at Covenant House, Nael is getting the tools she needs to build her confidence and change her future.
When I realized that I needed to change myself to change my scenery, that's when I started making steps to get a job and go back to school. I didn't have the mindset that I have right now, so things weren't looking good in the beginning. When I first came in, I didn't have any job searching clothes. I had this is dress down day. They have a clothing room with a bunch of suits and, work pants, slacks, whatever. And I think I got about 6 outfits. It prepared me to go to that job interview and, actually walk in there with pride.
No one is prepared to live on the street, much less teens. Covenant House provides shelter and services to prepare these youth for the future. They are given not only shelter, a place to sleep, but also help to turn their lives around.
Covenant House Florida is part of an international organization that has been serving runaway, homeless, and at-risk youth for over 40 years. We've been in this facility here in Fort Lauderdale for 30 years this September. Always available for young people under the age of 21 who have no safe place to go, to first of all get safe shelter, be off the street, get 3 meals a day, and then hopefully we begin some work to help them either return home or to learn to become independent if they're older and for whom independence is their next logical step.
Derek, one of the residents who recently turned 18, knew that leaving his home, although a tough choice, was going to be better for him.
The reason I came to Covenant House is the day after my birthday, me and my parents got into this argument, and it's been tension for a while, and I just felt like coming here would be a better situation to get my grades up, one, and just to have a better life for myself. Don't get me wrong, I respect my parents, but sometimes the fighting was just too much. So the day after the argument, it was after my birthday, I went to school the next day, and my JROTC instructor saw that I wasn't myself. I had no book bag, I had no pencil, no supplies, and I'm on top of my stuff. And she called me into the back, and she just wanted to know what was going on, and she referred me to my social worker at the school. And the social worker called my parents in to see exactly what was going on. And even then, there was still tension, and we were still arguing and whatnot. So she referred me to you guys, and I had a decision to make, because to come here is a decision. Stay at home, get bad grades and not graduate, or come here and hope for the best. And coming here was the best thing I could have did for myself, because I feel like everybody here really cares about our well-being. They're not just here for a paycheck. It's not what it's about. It's more, what do you need? What do you need for the day? Are you okay? Are you good? And I love that about this place.
I am truly inspired by these kids. Their struggles have been extremely hard, but they haven't let it keep them down. Nael's finding the right clothes improved her life with a better job. It's simple. With the right tools, we all can succeed. Do you have work clothes you don't wear anymore or household goods to share? Find where you can donate these items on helpingfeelsgood.org. You can help a neighbor make a house a home. Nationally, 1 in 5 children go hungry each day, but in Florida, that number jumps to 1 in 4. That spike in numbers is staggering. What's even more heartbreaking is most of these children's only source of food is the breakfast and lunch served in their school cafeteria. The good news? There are organizations working to fill these hungry bellies after school. A few months ago, we met Panos Cortesis. He's the Backpack Program Director for Christ Fellowship Church. They are one of many groups working in Dade and Broward schools to feed the hungry children of our community with backpacks filled with food for the weekend. These special bags are distributed to children identified in unstable housing.
We know that there are 300,000 kids going to bed hungry here in South Florida alone. That's based on U.S. Census Bureau numbers. That's also based on a study by Feeding America. That's staggering. 300,000 kids That's 1 in 4. The national average is 1 in 5. We feed the students all 40 weekends of the school year. Every single Thursday we come and refill. And so along with the food, we include a note of encouragement. And so this one says, remember you are loved. Our new ones, we have a handwritten note from our volunteers that always write something like, you're awesome, you rock, keep your head up. The new ones say, remember you are loved more than you know. The reason why we include this is because our program it's 2 separate parts. What we do is we feed hungry stomachs with food, but we feed hungry hearts with hope and encouragement. The children are not responsible for the hard times that they're going through, and sometimes the parents aren't either. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to shine a light in a dark time in their life and just to let them know, hey, you're gonna make it through, and we're here to help. What we do is we have these giant packing parties about once a month where we pack these bags of food, and we store them in 3 facilities all around Miami. We have our downtown facility, our Redlands campus, and our Palmetto Bay campus. And what we do is we store the food there, and every Thursday we have volunteers come out. Today's Thursday, so we had, I can tell you for a fact, 23 volunteers come out today, pick up hundreds of bags of food, and go and distribute to our 23 partner schools.
It's volunteers like you that really make a difference. You can donate your time to help fill these backpacks and bellies by registering on helpingfeelsgood.org, or you can simply make a donation. Either way, your support will be felt where it's needed the most. Coming up, we'll talk to a formerly homeless woman that turned her life around and has now become the inspiration of everyone she comes in contact with by not just her words, but her actions as well. Welcome back to the Neighbors for Neighbors Spring Special. Maria has become somewhat of a local fitness guru. Her Emergy fitness classes at Body and Soul in Coral Gables have a following that grows each and every day. It's her positive attitude after a lifetime of adversity that really inspires and motivates others. She shares her story with everyone because she wants them to know that she's not just talking the talk, but she's made it through the worst times, and she's truly walking the walk.
One thing that I tell people about my personal experience is the truth. You know, a lot of people, we walk around ashamed about what we've done or what we've been through, thinking because there's a standard that we've created ourselves. So I've learned in my almost 44 years of life that the more authentic you are and the more you tell your story, the more people relate, because they've been through something either similar or they're going through something that they can relate to. And what I've been blessed to teach some of these people is that a homeless person, it's not a choice that you're out there. Somebody doesn't get up one day and say, I'm gonna be homeless. That's one of the things that I come across that some people don't realize I have experienced that, and it's just that they're not aware or educated to understand that, you know, some people are homeless because it's not because they're a drug addict or because they're an alcoholic or there's something. It's like, you know, they have shortcomings. There's families that live on the street because they have no income and they have no other choice. So instead of walking by them and looking down at them, look at why are they there? You know, why are they there? What can we do to help them get out of that situation? And even if they are a drug addict or an alcoholic, why not help that person? No one got up one day and said, I want to be homeless. It's a very difficult position to be in. It's very difficult. When someone's asking you for food, is they are hungry. And even if they are a drug addict or an alcoholic, they're hungry and they need help. We all need it, and they need it more than we do. We walk around with these blinders by us, and we can see somebody next to us, and we walk right by them and pretend like they're not there. And I hope and I pray that I am creating this effect and allowing people to see, let me stop for a minute. And then like for my children, I don't tell them, I walk my words. I'll pull over, I'll get out, and they're aware that I experience, you know, living on the streets, so that they understand we've got to help. We have to create this awareness. You know, let's stop for a moment and help these people.
Like Maria, you can share your talents with those in need. Many organizations are looking to incorporate fitness programs into their facilities. It's shown that exercise helps improve one's mental state as well as their physical. And what could be more stressful than dealing with homelessness? If you have time to teach a yoga class or even just play a game of catch with some kids, register today on helpingfeelsgood.org and we'll connect you with those who need it most. What we've shared are only a few of countless stories, but each of them is filled with hope, perseverance, and opportunity. We hope that you'll think differently about homelessness, but more importantly, we hope you can do something about it. Now on to something our partners at Children's Services Council are helping to make a little easier: filing your taxes. Along with 211 and Hispanic Unity of Florida, you can now take the worry out of filing your taxes. These great folks know how to get you the most back on your refund. It's tax time, and if you made $53,000 or less, you may qualify for free tax preparation. Just dial 211 to see if you qualify. IRS certified volunteers are already preparing taxes for your neighbors for free. Plus, they are trained to get the most out of the tax credits, like the Earned Income Tax Credit, helping you keep more of the money you've earned. Call 211 or log on to vitataxesfree.org to get started. We'd like to turn our attention to a company that has been helping a local family fix their rundown home. Neighbors for Neighbors was on hand as the finishing touches were completed for this special family. Coastal Construction heard about Nicole, the first homeowner in her family. Nicole was unable to repair her house due to lack of income after suffering a severe back injury that left her disabled and on limited income. The roof was in such disrepair that it was literally raining in her living room. Coastal Construction's charitable arm, Coastal Cares, heard of the family's need and quickly reached out to Biscayne Roofing to fix the failing roof. Then the damaged walls and ceilings inside were repaired, and the team rallied more of their subcontracting partners to make the outside look as fabulous as the inside. The team of volunteers came together, making this house a home again.
We were contacted by Pat, our friend Pat, who had this great family who was in need. So we came over and met with them. And, we walked in a house, and every bed in that house had a bucket on it because the roof leaked, and all over the living room as well. So we were able to, through our subcontractor baseline and our own volunteers, re-roof the house. And of course, we made today an event day, so we could add some other good things to the house. We repainted it, we landscaped it, we fixed the fence, we cleaned the yard. The rule here is to leave the place in a better way than you found it. Every time we ask for volunteers within our organization, Coastal, we always have too many, which is great. They love to join us on these events, and we don't do it for the feeling. We do it because we're able to help someone who's less fortunate, and it makes a difference to them.
Well, actually what happened was I got an email from Lynn about the Adopt a Family for the holidays. And so I told her I would do that, but I wanted to be sure it was a family that really needed help, and that, through no fault of their own, had gotten into problems and to try and help, and had kids, because it was for the holidays. And so she introduced me to Nicole, and that's how this all started. Well, we came over here really to do Christmas, and we came over to do, we brought a Christmas tree and presents for the kids, and I rounded up a bunch of my friends and got them to kick in. And so that's what we started with. And when we got here, there were buckets on the floor to catch the rain. It was that bad, and holes in the ceilings and the whole thing. And so, we said, look, we'll try and see if we can find a way to see if we can help out on that. And a good friend of mine has a company that does shrink wraps for like cars and boats and those kind of things. And he came over like the next day and shrink wrapped the whole roof. And that was supposed to be temporary. And unfortunately, it took about a year to organize getting the roof fixed, but that did a pretty good job for about a year. Mike and I got together on Tom's request, and we talked about what we were going to do here, and essentially they did it. I'm here, doing some painting. The truth is, Coastal Cares is who did this work, and all the people that work with them, the painters and the roofers. It was unbelievable. I've never seen a roof go on like that. So yes, it's Coastal Cares who organized this and who leaned on these guys and got them to help. But you can see nobody's complaining around here. Everybody's happy.
When we do these, I get my family involved. And what I believe is, don't complain what you don't have. Be thankful for what you've got. And I think I preach that to my children. So my daughter and my wife, they've been involved in this ever since I started doing it. I was trying to bring my daughter with me, and so she can be raised with that mentality the mentality that we're preaching. Give and don't expect anything in return.
Words can't express how grateful I am. I sit and I look, and I had the picture earlier of how I sent the picture out and I asked for help. Like I said, it was humbling for me. It's very humbling for me, almost to a point of a fall. that I have to ask for help, because I was always the one giving out help and helping people. And then I fell on hard times. I needed help. This house was falling down. The thing that meant the most to me. It became a curse to me because I couldn't take care of it. I thank God for Neighbors for Neighbors, and I am truly blessed and elated. I am happy, and my house is beautiful, and I thank you.
We too are grateful for the generosity from everyone at Coastal Construction, Biscayne Roofing, and all of the volunteers who helped complete this project. You can help a family just like Nicole's. Register now on helpingfeelsgood.org and search the projects open. No matter your time or talent, your gifts will make a long-lasting impact. Please don't forget to register today on our website, helpingfeelsgood.org. Volunteer today for one of the many projects open now near you. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the Herbert Hoover Foundation, the South Florida television stations CBS 4 and MyTV 33, the Children's Services Council of Broward County, Wells Fargo, Infrasol and Berkowitz Pollock Brandt, as well as all of you who support us. We cannot do the work we do without each and every one of you.